Shalom, shalom. Give them a couple minutes. Get a couple minutes to load. I'm gonna share it. We're gonna talk about that purification. We about to go live and talk about purification of the body. How do you get the mind and soul holy? Huh? We got a master here and he gonna break it down how you do. How you make the holy system. Let's go. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, 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 y'all. Got a master on here today. Shalom, sister. Got an herbal doctor, herbal master on here. We're gonna chat with it, chop it up. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Here we come. Yes, yes, yes. You already know what's going on out there with everybody. Shalom, shalom, everybody. I got a master on here today. Nabweze Okoye, herbal doctor. We're gonna chop it up a little bit. Just talk a little bit about purification of the mind, body, and soul. Living in this Babylon mess, but there's still no excuse of keeping the mind, body, and soul, purified. Brother, you in there? Kind of froze a little bit. So with that, I'm gonna let you go ahead and set it off. Let them know where you calling from.
The frozen one.
Right. The frozen one.
Let me move my location. If it did freeze, let that not be on me. Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
It still froze a little bit.
I'm gonna move inside where I might have a stronger connection.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay, there you go. You came back in.
Okay. I'm indoors now.
Back. Yeah.
You might see some of my house. You might see or hear some of my houses in the background, but it's all right.
Hey, it's all good.
Ain't gonna hurt nothing.
I like them big palm trees I seen outside, but that's cool.
That's movement. Those were actually coconut trees.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Definitely. Real nice. Real
Yeah.
nice. That's all we needed, some coconut oil and some coconut. I mean,
Yeah.
let's talk about the benefits of coconut. Everybody know about the coconut oil, the coconut water, the coconut milk. I mean, you got coconuts in your backyard. I mean, come on. Let's give us a dose on that.
Let's hit them up then. Coconut is a very interesting it's a very interesting fruit. It's very nutritious, right? Its
Definitely.
nutrition value. A lot of times they grow nearby the ocean,
Mm-hmm.
and during by their proximity to the waters, they're able to suck up natural earth straw, the nutrients from the ocean that we're not able to digest, right? So a whole lot of multi minerals are made available to your body via the coconut water. And the coconut water is so rich that, when the military runs out of blood, they can transfer in the coconut into your blood, and it will hold until they can get other blood inside of you. So it lets you know how much.
Man, hold on. Man, that's powerful right there. I didn't know that. So
I used to mix. So what I do is I use the coconut. I make the milk. I blend the milk from the meat, and then I'll bring the coconut water from the coconut, mix them two together. I put that sea moss and that bladderwrack and blend it all together. Man, you talking about a health tonic that has everything.
That just sounds amazing. You know what I mean? That sounds
We do it
amazing.
out here, bro. But we have these skin.
Wow.
Listening.
Lately I've been eating only. Yeah. Wow.
What's that?
You just rock some bells. You know what I mean? I didn't know that. You mean to tell me a person could get shot, be on their last leg, about to die, and we can give them, the Army gives them coconut. You see what I mean? The coconut water from out the coconut can help with, being on your last deathbed, losing all your blood. And then you said something about our body is not able to absorb all the nutrients, but if we drink coconut water, we can get that's a way to get it in us.
Yeah. So the body can't assimilate the nutrients naturally found in the ocean and the sea, right? It's not in a form too salty, too much saline. So what happens is the coconut absorbs it, and then it transforms it into a manner which is acceptable for our digestion. So the liquefaction is that we couldn't handle, and that liquefaction occurs in that water, and that water, if it is allowed to mature, becomes the meat. So you're getting like it's like a vitamin, literally like a multivitamin. That's what the coconut is. It's like nature's natural vitamin compound. And then if you go to God rest the dead, Dr. Sebi, and he was on hitting you with the mineral, with the iron and the sea moss, now you have you combine the moss with nature's natural multivitamin, coconut water. Now you have a really powerful tonic that can take care of a lot of things that you might be dealing with in these days and times. Yeah. Hey, brethren, I think you're on mute. I can't hear you.
I was just shouting, you know what I'm saying? I love this information. That's what we want to do today, is just bring out information. You know what I'm saying? I got nothing to say. I got hit. I was out too late on the mountain or something. It got cold up there. But bring it out. Bring it out. I think when I leave here, I'm going to get a gallon of coconut water.
Yeah.
I mean,
you want to get it as possible, because after 3 days, that coconut loses its strength. So as far as the nutrients, so you want to, even if you cut a fresh cocoa, you want to drink in 2 or 3 days. Most likely the stuff that's on the shelves doesn't have a lot. I have a little power, but not quite powerful as the fresh.
Yep, you're right.
But
you're right.
You can still amplify the coconut with the moss. And here's the power. Let me show you about the power of who we are as Africans.
You know what? I'm glad you said what you said, because the Spirit told me that already, that we have to get back to the wilderness. And I've been doing a lot of natural healing. And usually, you know, we said this last time, I usually go to these stores and herbal stores. I used to go to them herbal shops and get those oreganos and get all of that tea and stuff like that. And it used to be so potent. And now when I go, it's not even half as potent as it used to be. So everybody don't woke up. I don't know if they're juicing it, selling the juices, but you have to get it like you said, fresh.
Yeah.
Yep. Wild and fresh.
I'm gonna give you a gem. I said that the gem is that if it doesn't have the power, you can restore the power through your spirit.
Hallelujah.
Okay. So I'm gonna share like this, so that everything has two sides in this world. It's duality at play, right? If you have night, if you have male, you must have female. If you matter, you must have matter. So if you have flesh, you must have spirit. If you have flesh, you must have spirit. And spirit is the connector. Spirit is the GPS. Spirit is the bridge that takes us to the other side, who we truly are. So to bring energy, those starry energies, planetary energies, those spiritual divine energies, you have to go into the spirit. Hence why we always would pray over our food and bless. So what you into that energy of whatever you're blessing, some aspect of that is transferred into what you're blessing. You see, so that's how you revive things, even if they don't quite have earth energy. Put that spirit energy in it at least, so the spirit in you will receive that spirit energy that's given by God, and that will amplify you too. Will amplify the coconut water, your regular water. You should always do this before you drink tea or drink. You always that's a science behind blessing. Yeah, a scientist may look and see that they don't see anything physically changed, but the spirit is changed. And we're spiritual people, so at least you give something to nourish and edify your spirit, and that's where the magic is.
Deep. But my people, they ready for it. They ready for it. You know, we're spiritual beings. They don't teach this stuff in school. So to be totally healed, you're not going to learn it from school, buddy. You're going to learn it from here. Huh? Bring it. Yeah, you're not gonna learn this stuff in school. You know what I mean? How to be totally healed. How to, because it's a revolving door here. Monetary system, mind, body, and soul. They're not gonna tell you that you're the complete package of man, mind, body, and soul. Hey, take this pill, mess with your body. Not gonna tell you anything about your spirit. Not gonna tell you how. You see what I'm saying? To talk to your spirit and protect your spirit. So lately, anytime I take a medicine, before I take a medicine, I'm so in tune. See, the master priest, shaman, whatever you want to call yourself, you sanctified holy vessels. Once we clean our body out, we become more in tune with ourselves and nature and spirit. So we become more in tune with the complete body. So you'll drink a drink and you'll feel that drink going down. And you'll tell it where to go. Now I don't even have to, Am I telling a lie here? Go ahead, bro. Take over.
No lies being spoken.
You see what I'm saying? And I get in touch, and Yeshua and the prophets and the shaman in that Bible, the seers, whatever they call it what you want. You got to get it from the real people. Clean your body out and let it become a holy vessel. You see what I'm saying? To be used in this system. He's a spirit. So the true worshipers must let their body become, he said, the true worshiper is going to come and worship in spirit and truth. So we have to get out of the flesh and be able to get in tune with the spirit and nature. Nature is they don't want to teach us this, but nature is nature should, like they say, you got 5 senses. No, we got more. Nature is one of our senses that we connected to. You see what I'm saying? But you have to be in tune with your body. You have to be, I've always say purification is the key. Purification is the key. You know, the more purification we get, the more in tune we become with nature. You see what I mean? The first time I did a spiritual fast out there in the woods, like you out there, he's in what, Hawaii? He's in Hawaii. Last time I went to a natural place, I went down South Florida. I slept in the woods and I was looked up and saw the sun, the stars, the moons, palm trees, like you got them coconut trees. I'm looking at all of that and I fell into a spiritual bliss. And next thing you know, I start tapping into, you know, they said I was stargazing. They said I was projecting something where I got out of my flesh and I kind of like entered the galaxy. What is that called? Astral projecting. So I started astral projecting. So I started to tap into those things. So I'm like, wow, we can do that. You see what I mean? And a lot of people said you had that Peter effect. You know what I mean? You walked on water. You started astral projecting yourself over the mind over body, mind over matter. You started to go over the matter. You would start to tap into your spirit. But since you wasn't used to that, you kind of got scared and oh my goodness, what am I doing? Yeah. You see what I mean? That's what I told myself. That's what I told my natural self, my physical self. What are you doing? I told my physical self, told my spiritual self, what are you doing? You see what I mean? And I kind of came up out of it. But those days are over with now. Now I said, you know what? Let me talk with a master and you know, let's get the keys to, you know, to stay and focus in that and keep walking in that, you know.
Okay. Well, that's what you're talking about. That experience that you had, bro, is something that all of us pretty much share as a youth. You know, when a baby up to age 2, before the fontanelle, you know, the fontanelles on the skull, before they close, you're able to travel to and fro on this earth through those astral planes. So a baby up to age 2 is not fully present on the earth. You know, they're wherever they came from, they're still able to go back to that place and they come to and fro, you know, hither and thither. They go back and forth. And after age 2, the sutures close, and then that soul is embodied upon the earth. And then you start forgetting that you have this ability astral travel, right? And then you only reawaken it a little bit here and there through dreaming when you recognize that you've traveled, you know, because when you sleep, if I ask your listeners, where do you go when you sleep? None of us can tell us. Nobody knows what happens to the body when you sleep or where you go. You leave the body and you go somewhere, and that's the key. And so that's somewhere that we go. That's what we want to replicate. And the way to do that intentionally is through meditation, through spirituality, so on and so forth. You know? So that's the kind of thing that we want to look for is how do we get back to these practices where we practice that which we came to earth with, you know, these kind of abilities, because you have those abilities so you don't feel like you're trapped or confined to the earth. You have something above that you can appeal to get power from, to elevate, to travel to get the word from, bring the power back, and then spread it to the community. And that's really what it's all about. So, but in order to get that and to get that connection tight, excuse the background noise, it's some of my housemates. But to get that connection straight, purification is the key, because if you're purified, the body will be running in a state of clarity as opposed to a state of confusion, which is what is the case when people have what they call phlegm or a lot of mucus discharge. That mucus is essentially, you know, like when you have boogers in your nose. I may just go there, right? Because y'all know, some of y'all act like you don't have boogers in your nose ever, but you have, at least you know someone who has. And that snot, sometimes it's very thick and gobbly and gooky and yellowish. And, you know what I mean? It's sticky. And so imagine if that's inside of you and it looks like that when it comes out. That is what's blocking your consciousness. It's blocking your light from really reaching to how it's got to reach throughout the system. So when Dr. Sabian, I'm talking about, you got to get rid of this mucus, That's what he's talking about. You got to discharge it. And you discharge it primarily through your diet and through the way you think and the way you carry your emotions. So from your diet, the way you think, and the way you carry your emotions, meaning these are all things under your control. Nobody outside can give you mucus. You give yourself mucus by the way you eat, meaning what's on the edge of your fork, what's being carried in your spoon, or the way you think about your life, or the way you feel about yourself or your life. That's what gives you one mucus, and that's what needs to be cleared out when you're talking about purification. I think you're on mute, bro.
Dropping.
Okay, there it is.
You dropping it. You dropping that good knowledge, man. You dropping that good knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We got to get the mucus out the body. Everything you saying is coming from a master. Everything time you talk, the scriptures is being verified by masters, prophets, seers, and shaman. They all said this. That's why Daniel left us what they call the Daniel's diet. Daniel diet means eating only pulse. Pulse means anything that's alive, that's out there, grass, corn, anything that has life, that's growing from the sun and rain. So when you change your diet to eat anything from earth, like Dr. Sebi said, you know, he's just the same thing as the prophets. He always talked about the Bible and the prophets. You have to eat the Daniel's diet at the least to begin purification. Eating anything from the Most High's earth eliminates mucus. You see what I mean? You can, a lot of my granddads knew this. I say it all the time. He lived to be 117. All he went around eating was dandelions and the roots of it, the flowers, and almost anything that you see the bees and the bears, butterflies go to and eat, he'll go eat. And they'll make wines and butters, and he had crystal glasses with hot peppers and onions and anything that you see out there. You see what I mean? That they knew how. It's like Dr. Sebi said. He said he cured himself from diabetes and being blind just by eating different flowers and trying them and seeing what they did. That's what I do nowadays. Any flower I see a butterfly or bee go to, I'll go eat the flower and see what it do to me and see what area of the body, eye, gland, it goes intact. Then when the Most High send me a person, I can have the answer. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's repeating the cycle. And then another thing,
you said it earlier, like you can direct that energy once you drink it or once you consume it. If your mind is pure, if your mind is strong, you can direct it to the area of the body that needs it, right? Really, you should do that prior to drinking it or prior to eating it, but definitely while you've consumed it or while you're consuming it, you can direct its energetics. Some of you are visual people, so just see it. If you have knee pain, direct it to your knee. And better than that, see your knee acting as if it's brand new, right? That's the visualization. Some of you are more touch people. So as you're eating the food, massage your knee. Right?
Bring it, bro. You a master, man. You act like
the herbal follow. Herbs are like your oxen, and you're the farmer. You know.
Yeah.
Farm. What kind of dummy makes the ox run the farm?
Come on. No, you bringing it.
So you'll have to start to become the farmers of your life and direct these medications, these oxens, towards the fields that they need to plow in. The fields.
You're a master. You're a master here, y'all.
Let them do their work. So that's what we got to get going on. And then return to the purification with the phlegm. Let's just give the people some things that they can do to deal with phlegm, right? Because
let me see here. I'm gonna let me take this call. But I'm gonna let you go ahead. Go ahead, give them about 5 minutes worth of, just give them that work. Give them that, go in the bag, man.
Got him, man. I got you. I got him.
I want him.
All right. So with regards to phlegm, any of y'all who are looking to really purify from that, the number one thing you want to do is prevent things that are causing the phlegm in the first place in your diet. Let's just look dietary wise. So generally things that are like our brother said that are not of the earth, that are not of God's creation, that are outside of God's creation, you want to eliminate ASAP. So pizza, it's not really God's creation. You know what I'm saying? No matter how good and appealing that cheese may be, in that pepperoni may be, in that sausage, whatever, that's not of God's creation. So if you're dealing with serious with phlegm and you want to get rid of it, you're gonna have to get rid of those kind of foods, fast foods, processed foods, right? Chips, all those comfort foods. Yeah, they taste good because we've been trained to think they taste good. You know, you think chips taste good, you think ice cream tastes good because you've been trained. How did they train you? They trained you through your sense of taste because they know when they put salt in your food that they're dealing with someone who's frustrated emotionally, right? When they put sweets in your food, sugar, they know they're dealing with somebody who lacks nourishment, right? So the reason you have that sweet tooth, you're trying to appeal to a sense of you that feels ill-nourished, and you're trying to self-medicate with cakes and sodas and whatever you love that's super sweet. And it's that sweetness, that white sugar, unrefined, that refined sugar, that's what's going to jam up the system and cause a lot of mucus and phlegm to accumulate. So that's something that you really want to learn to avoid, especially during an elimination process or a fasting or a purification process. You want to figure out ways to let that stuff go. So, you know, I'm suggesting that perhaps you could take a 3-day fast, 2 or 3 day fast, where you try to eat clean. Eat only God's pharmacy, right? So you're taking the herbs, you're taking salads, you know, you're taking vegetables, you're taking fruits, you're taking grains, and you're not really doing too much to them. You just allow yourself to eat plain. You're not going to die from eating things kind of plain. You want to have something that's tasty, yes, but you don't need to overdo it with condiments and seasonings and all this and that. So that would be the thing that you could look for with regards to purifying. Just make sure your diet is clean. And once the diet is clean and the food is clean, then you can start attacking the aspects of the brain which is causing you to feel you're not in harmony with yourself, and you're not in harmony with yourself via your emotions or your mentality. You see, because a lot of us, if you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, that's already an aspect of phlegm, right? If I ask you if you could be anybody in this world, who would you want to be? And if you don't say yourself, you already have phlegm, and you're just in the brain. Right? So that's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing that will get you jammed up. Don't mind. Like I said, I'm in my house and I tried to be outside, but it was too noisy and I was losing connection. So got a little background noise there. We'll let it pass. Let me try to move. I'll try to move. Maybe we can go back outside. Let's see. All right. So yeah. So that's but the main thing would be that, and then what you could do as far as herbally, you want to look for things that will nourish and cleanse the blood. So there's an herb called Dongui, Danggui, Danggui. That would be a good herb to help nourish the blood. Something to cleanse the blood would be your burdock root, or like our brother said, the dandelion root. It's a very beautiful blood cleanser. And in these days and times, you always want to stay with a blood cleansing herb, because your bodies are being inundated with so many different contaminants from the sky, falling pesticides from the ground. The water is poisoned, the air is poisoned. You know what I mean? So we have so much poison that we have to process. You have to give that liver inside of you some assistance. And that's what the blood purifiers do. So you want to make sure you stay with those. So I'll repeat them: burdock root, BURDOCK, dandelion root. You could do yellow dock. You could do stinging nettles. All of these would be very powerful blood cleansers for your body. All right, let me flip this camera this way. All these would be very powerful blood cleansers for your body. And you could just make them as teas. You make them as infusions or decoctions. Infusion is when you turn the water up to boil, you put the herb in, then you take it off the heat and let it sit. And the hot water will extract some of the chemicals from the herb. And that's a good way to start off with herbs. And then if you want to make it stronger after that, after you get the introduction, maybe you do that for about a week, the infusion, then you go into the decoction, which is essentially a herbal soup where you put the herbs to boil. When it starts to boil, then you turn the heat down to like medium, low heat, somewhere between low and medium heat, and let that cook for 30, 45 minutes. And then you drink that tea when it's slightly cooled down. And that's a decoction, and that will have different effects. So you can kind of measure for yourself and see what the difference between an infusion does and a decoction does with the same herb in your body. And that's how you gain knowledge of what the herb is doing inside of you. Some of you may see that it makes you use the bathroom more through decoction, or maybe it does it through infusion. So you'll know next time you get jammed up with constipation, the manner of preparation that's most suitable for you. And that's what it's all about, y'all, knowledge itself. Because when you have that, you're the most empowered being on the planet. And speaking of the most empowered being on the planet, we already know that's the quote-unquote black woman. And she's the one that, you know, that is kind of what this is all about, like learning how to re-empower her so that she can re-empower the babies, and then the nation will be secure again. Because the attack on our people has been always through the family. I'm gonna say it again. The attack on our people has been through the family, right? So we have to figure out ways
Yes, I am.
We have to figure out ways that the Holy Trinity is not disturbed. Father, Mother, Child. It's the Holy Trinity. And that Holy Trinity is represented in science as proton, electron, and neutron, right? So the same way that you have certain people who are always manipulating and trying to get in the way of trying to separate protons from neutrons and separate neutrons from electrons and separate this from that, they're doing the same kind of work that they're doing in the lab, in the social laboratory they call life. They're trying to separate the black mother, the black father, from the black children. And that's where the host of problems come in. So the way you can take care of that is make sure your family unit, your family circle is tight. And the way you can take care of that is make sure that the health of that family unit is tight, right? Because if that health is strong, mom's message, dad's messages are gonna still ring clear in the child's brain as they're developing. And they might stray, but they won't go too far off, you know? And that's what we need to return our ways back to. So yeah, entering those blood cleansers into your system, that's gonna be top notch. Another thing you wanna think about with phlegm is that not only do you get that blood cleanser, you have to have something to invigorate the blood. That's why I was saying you can use the dongui. Again, I'll spell it D-A-N-G-U-I. That's a herb. Or you can get an herb like ginger, right? Fresh ginger. Put that in there. Or you can put some fresh cayenne. You can put that cayenne pepper powder. Put that in there. Not too much. You got to kind of play with it and see what works for you. But then once you get all that blood and you get the blood and inside of you and the blood cleansers are inside of you, you still got to do another step. And this is what a lot of people miss. You have to open up the bowels to eliminate that mucus, right? So there's a couple ways. There's about 3 ways that you can get rid of mucus, or really like 4. but the fourth is kind of harsh. One, you eliminate mucus through the skin, through sweating. So when you're going through a blood cleansing technique, you got to do something that usually makes you got to get some exercise, right? You don't want to overdo it, not running or jogging, but at least get that body temperature moving. That's why me and my brother, we prefer Qigong. You know, some of y'all like yoga, some of y'all like just walking up hills, hiking, whatever you do, get that fresh air 20, 30, 45 minutes a day and get it in. So you can get, so that when the body perspires, opens up the skin, sweat pores open, dilate, and the mucus slides out through the water carried through the sweat. The other way you can release mucus is through the urine. So you have to have something that opens up the ability to urinate. Something like, so in this formula, you can put something like juniper berries, right? That helps you to open up the portals for urination. Or you could put something called uva ursi, U-V-A-U-R-S-I. Uva ursi.
Juniper berries. Woo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know about the junipers.
Man, they open up everything, buddy. Juniper berries. It's coming out your body, guys. You know what I mean?
Supreme cleanser.
Supreme cleanser.
When during pandemics in the old days, they would use those juniper berries to keep that body clean.
I call it juju. My dad called them juju berries. Juju berries. He said they used to get. He said they get wine. I think he used to get the buzz off them too. They could kind of like mix them with wine or something. But he was saying something. He was telling me. But yeah.
You can do that. You can do that. You know, you can definitely mix it up with wine. In fact, juniper comes from gin. You know, I mean, gin comes from juniper berries. Yeah. So that which we call gin, the alcohol, it comes from juniper berries. And you know, any fruit that can be turned into an alcohol is a supreme power fruit, right? So those berries have a lot of power, a lot of punch. But one of the main things they do is it's called a diuretic, meaning it makes water move through your system, through the urine, escapes. And then the last thing that I would recommend is if you open up the sweat glands through the pepper, the spices, right? Something spicy. That's what I was recommending. Cayenne or ginger. Open up the sweat glands to let mucus out through your sweat. Or you can open up the urinary glands through the juniper berry, the uva ursi. And lastly, you want to open up the colon, right? And you open up the colon with an herb called rhubarb. Rhubarb, R-H-U-B-A-R-B, rhubarb. Or you could use senna, S-E-N-N-A. Or you could use cascara sagrada. Cascara sagrada. That's C-A-S-C-A-R-A-S-A-G-R-A-D-A. It's cascara sagrada. So these are open up your bowels so you can defecate the mucus. And you'll know you're defecating mucus because your stools look dark. And that's the dead blood cells that were inside your body from the mucus, right? You'll have dark stools, maybe foul-smelling stools, because you're discharging the trash. You don't want that. That trash was in your body. Get it out. And you command these herbs to get that trash out. You command the herbs to get the filth out. The filth of Babylon to leave. The filth of the deceiver to leave. You command that. Don't play games with your health. I'm not acting like magicians, man. I'm on my magic, you know. And people wonder, how you elevating? How you doing this? How you doing that? Because I'm not playing games with Babylon anymore. It's a war out here. And the quicker y'all realize it's a war, you're going to put your warrior.
I'm glad you're talking with that warrior tone, but you just made a spirit enemy. And it just confirmed something that the spirit been doing to me lately. When you change your body and you start to put nothing but vibrant stuff, I'm just going to call him the Holy One. When you start to put stuff in your body created by the Holy One, you see what I mean? I'm talking about water that's come from the sanctuary one. Some people, the mother. When you put stuff on that's only touched by the mother, the father, the holy ones, you see what I mean? I get on top of this mountain that's 3 miles high and I eat flowers that can't even grow in Alabama. And I hold Alabama and Georgia and Florida. You know how high we hold the South. You see what I mean? Far as building a man. You see what I mean? You know how high we hold the South when it comes to building a man. And they're going to bring me on a mountain, the Rocky Mountains, 3 times taller than the Black Warrior Mountain. And now I'm running into cactuses and flowers and herbs and roots that can't even grow down south. As soon as I ate one of them berries, I'm talking about the vibrant, the power that it entered my body. You know, I just start speaking with the blood of those plants, of the energy or whatever you want to call it, the chlorophyll of them plants was in my body, and I just was in tune with it. I was in tune with it, and I felt that vibration. And certain people try to come around me, and if they got the wrong spirits, it's like you can speak.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You can speak, and also the power of sound. They say in the beginning was the word, and the word was with Yah, and the word became a living person. So something about sound, right? I just found this out. The 7 chakras. See, a lot of people, they get on me sometimes. Come on, we're prophets. We're children of Israel. We believe in the truth. What are you talking about the pineal gland for? What are you talking about the 7 chakras that's inside our body? They didn't teach us that in school. Are you a witch? Come on, Yakai, what are you talking about? They get on me sometimes when I start talking to higher knowledge that they don't have no clue about. You see what I mean? You got some people knew they had a third eye, a pineal gland, since they was 9 years old. We call people in the hood sun because he shined like the sun since a child. So certain people knew they had 7 chakras, knew they had glands in their body without nobody having to tell them, because they were living their life purification. I ran into some Asian people. I ran into some people from Ghana. I ran into some Nigerians. I ran into some Ethiopians. I ran into some Jamaicans. These different types of people from these different countries, they all was in tune with their body. They knew they had a pineal gland. You know, they knew to take their shoes off and put their soul. Huh? Why do you call the sole of your foot? Huh? They knew to put their, look at that. Come on, man. Come on, man. You see that? They knew they knew to do that already, because they wasn't so poisoned, like the Bible say, let no man teach you, because the holy mothers will teach you all things. If you're in tune with mother, she gonna teach you everything. Period. Everything. Only thing I can do is just reinstill something and confirmate something and wake up something that's already in your DNA.
Oh, that's do. That's all we can do. We can't fullness yourself. That's between you and your creator. But we can definitely vibrate you, you know, and try to knock out the negative, the wrong frequency you're tuning into, so that you can tune into the right one that we've always been attached to, you know, that's never let us go. Our people are only here because we've been able to hear clearly that original frequency, you know, been able to connect with that original frequency. And I'm telling you what, COVID must bow down to the original frequency, right? Child pornography and all those molesters must bow down to the original frequency, right? Brutality in our neighborhoods must bow down to the original frequency. You understand? And the best way for us to receive that frequency is to become it ourselves. When you become that frequency, it's you now. And so you connect to it in all sectors. All life has it. The rock has it. The plants have it. The trees got it. Birds hold it down. Sun holds it down. The moon holds it. All things vibrate to the original frequency. OF. But if you're off it, then you're offed. You see? So you got to get back onto that. And the way we're talking about is purifying your vessel, because it's always there. It's just you have so many other layers of things that kind of, it blinds you to it or deafens you to it, so you're not tuning into it. But once you tune in, all things are revealed. You see, so that's why we got to take things back to. And like Brother Kai said, you know, when you're out and about in your neighborhood, right, or somewhere that you're out in nature and you see plants plants, and some of them may appeal to you. They're appealing to you because they want to become a part of what you're doing, you know. And some of you might be like, yeah, but I don't know what this plant does. I'll give you a key for that. If you come through purified, meaning you're fasted, you go into those hills, you go into those mountains or wherever terrain you're at, and there's a plant that appeals to you and you want to taste it, you want to try it. If your body is pure, even if that plant isn't is like very potent, right? Even a little toxic, it won't take you out as you have that purity inside of you, you know, because what interferes or what makes plants become very toxic is them interacting with the proteins within you. But if you've had no protein for that day and you go into that place, there's nothing for that plant to interact toxically with, right? And so that's the way shamans and people who are called into these bushes, into the forests, into the mountains, into riverlands, that's how they interact with the herbs. And they would learn things from the herbs. They would develop relationships, what some people call the plant songs, which is just ways that the plants communicate their power, their intention, their energy to our mind, the plant song. And so what I suggest is that you go out to your locality, or even go into your, if you, some of you are blessed with have a backyard, maybe with a garden, or at least just some land. Meditate on that land for 15, 20 minutes. Ask God to teach you where your medicine is, because all animals know their medicine. A dog, a bear knows its medicine. Everything knows medicine. Only one species has forgotten their medicine. So you want to reconnect to the original frequency and pray for remembrance, pray for guidance for your medicine, and do your prayer in that field, 15, 20 minutes. And after you come out of that prayer, open your eyes, see what comes to mind real powerfully. Something's going to want to attract your attention.
See that?
And when that thing is attracted, that's the
And
frequency
I'm glad.
matching your frequency. And that's what you ought to go ahead and connect with. If you're scared to eat it, then just pick it. You ask permission, you pick it, and maybe just rub it on your body. Rub it on your body, right? Or just maybe eat it as a salad. You can find different ways to work with that substance, and that substance is going to have something to understand about yourself. And the more deep you work with this, the more you're going to coming out of this kind of situation, solutions coming out of this situation. The body health is going to improve. Right after this call, I got about 30 minutes. I'm heading up into the mountains, and I'm just going to be looking for some fresh herbs in that area. And yeah, I don't go there with fear. I'm fasted. I mean, I had some watermelon earlier today, but other than that, I had nothing in my body, full power inside, and any plant that I connect to, go ahead and show. And I'm someone who hasn't been sick for 21 years, so I think I know what I'm talking about.
And I'm right with you. I'm right with you, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm right with bro with that 21 years. You know what I mean? It's I haven't been sick, and I'm not gonna be sick. There's no such thing as a person being sick. That's suicidal. I pick and choose. You know what I mean? Like Babylon is purposely poisoning people. So you know, you take a break on art. It's just simple. I don't like to get too deep. You are what you eat. We are what we eat. So when I had a little kid diet, and I ate more candy and annihilators, and the candy stuck in my teeth, that poison ate up the inside of my teeth and gave me all that nasty stuff and headaches. And once I cut all that stuff out, life more abundantly. You was hitting bells. I don't know, your camera went out on me, but
I'm here.
Yeah, you still here. I still can hear you. You was ringing some bells you hit when you was talking there, you know, like you say. I had my nephew with me, and you know, he was dealing with stuff of the 18, 19, 20-year-old depression, anxiety, and black and mild, and cigarettes, and eating pig, and pop for breakfast, and donuts for lunch, and suckers for dinner, and you see.
We got met when we were in the rock group together. We used to be right there with him.
I was right there with him, so I understood him. I understood him.
Yeah.
Come with your uncle. What? I'm a master. I've been through that. You know what I mean? But we've been through that. You see what I'm saying? But I think, see, the younger kids got a little bit worse because we did have even though we was some grown type little young boys and we was all over the world, we did come home to some home cooked meals. You know what I'm saying? They missing that. They don't have no home. I mean, come on, once a week I can come to your house and get me a nice, beautiful home cooked meal. You know what I'm saying? At least
that rice with that red stew.
Come on, man. I still can taste it, man. I was only 15? Man, I still can taste a 30-year-old stew. It was the best. Everybody need. Come on, man. Do I need to call mother? And do I need to call mother and get another plate and a cup of that sent to me? Just the stew?
Bro, we need to have a class. We need to have a class on how to create that stew.
You is not lying, because I haven't met nobody else on earth that know how to do it. And I still can taste it. See, when you eat something, because it was soul food, it went right to my soul.
That's the juju of West Africa.
It went right to my soul.
And that stew, that's the juju.
Oh my goodness. So when I eat Ethiopian food and I eat Jamaican food, or real soul food or African food, come on, you can taste it in your DNA. You go back to where you home. That's our home. We need our food that's over there, like you said, with that coconut. The powers of that coconut. You know what I mean? They got us off of our. Hitler said, he said, why you mad at me? But when America removed the jewels of God, we've been removed. You see, we've been removed, but we remembering ourselves now, And
that's the point, because even when you look at I'm breaking down coconut from what I studied and what I've experienced, but how many more plants and things out there, trees and leaves and fruits, unexplored, uncharted, unstudied, that's waiting for you to unlock that knowledge.
Now you're talking.
Your own genius, your own talent, right? All of us came to earth with purpose, right? And you can't be afraid to live.
Yeah, you're right.
You can't be afraid. If you think your only medicine is on a shelf from CVS or whatever, or you're going whatever these are, that's not the right thing to look. That's not the right way to look at it. Your medicine is in nature. And
that's
you can't afraid going back to nature. Your great grandmother was there. Great grandfather was in there. They were there. They weren't in CVS. They weren't at Rite Aid, and they didn't have the diseases that we carry today. So maybe maybe they knew something that we've forgotten. And what made you forget that? You've grown comfortable. You're not really moving your body like they used to move their body. You're not moving about your sedentary lifestyle, so on and so forth. So we got to just shake all that off and just get back to nature. Get back into the wilderness where the power is wild, and get back into
that's it.
And that's where break you up out of a situation, break you up out of health challenges. Some of the most powerful herbs on the planet are what we call weeds.
Come on, man.
Some of the most powerful.
Yeah, man. And check. And you know what? That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going crazy at right now, because we know that the most powerful stuff is the weeds. You see what I mean? That these government gonna tell you that's our weeds and stuff. I had some muscle-dying grapes, and that's poisonous. The government said that's weeds. I mean, get out of here. My grandmother been eating this since I was 5 years old. It's called muscle-dying grapes. Got all kind of seeds in there. No, we can't eat seeds. The government said that we'll choke. This is what people talk and say. Ate seeds all your life, and now you're 40, and the government come up with some new thing talking about, hey, we're making everything seedless because you can choke on a seed. What are you talking about? So that's how it really hurts me to hear the government have the gall. You see what I mean? To even say that to people. So that's how low he got us. I mean, if he can have come on, he's just so just make up mixed Gorilla Glue with Dookie, sugar, color red, color blue, and color green, and bake it in there with some glazed honey, and they'll eat it, won't they? And the people will eat it.
In their veins. No, we don't want
You
to
see
go
what I'm
there.
saying? Or they'll stick it in their veins. Or, no,
Not
you're
go-
just telling the truth. But that's what the government they're filling themselves a little bit on what they can create and get us to eat. And we know we need to just straight up get off of that. You know what I mean? Need to straight up get off of that. You want to heal the mind, body, and soul. And mind, body, and soul, got to be purified. Purification is key. Take you a break. I keep telling people, take them a break. You can't sit there and keep communicating with somebody who's going backwards, who's casting spells, and think that that's not going to affect you. We can rebuke their wave, and their vibration, but then we can't just think that we can wobble in that stuff. You gotta,
Gotta be
you
100.
know,
Gotta
you
be
got to be
100.
100. You see what I mean? You got to be purification. So when you purify your body, we go up the ladder. So you got to. The prophets separated themselves. You see what I mean? And you got to. That's what the key is all about. We can't, from the ocean. So we got to go back to pure water. We can't take a fish from pure source and then take it and go put it in. You see what I mean? Some different kind of poison water and think that fish gonna operate. You see what I mean? So we gotta stay in our environment. You know,
Yeah.
gotta stay in
Take,
our.
take steps. Get your water. Make sure your water is pure. Right.
Four elements.
Make sure your food is pure. Right. If you're gonna at least try to seek pure snacks like trail mix. Right.
Wow.
You got that craving for the sweet taste, then make sure there's raisins in there, right? Raisins are the best with nuts, but it's better than having that raw sugar or that refined sugar inside of you, right? So you can go ahead and do something like that to that nature. You want to make sure that you're on your breathing practices, because the first thing that you got to check on when you're dealing with survival is how you breathe. So
that's right.
You want to learn how to breathe deeply. You want to sometimes learn how to hold the breath on the inhalation, or maybe exhalation longer than the inhalation. I'll give you a little key is when you're dealing with the breath, you're dealing with oxygen. Oxygen essentially is dealing with fire. When the fireman, when Kipleton talk, more fire, more fire, more fire. I'm just hearing more oxygen, more oxygen, more oxygen.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, the more oxygen you let inside that cage, the more fire can rouse up.
Exactly, and that's what the Most High is, like a burning bush, bro.
He's a consuming fire. Yes.
The oxygen, that consuming fire.
See, I like how you said that. Everything you said. See, the Bible is written that the Most High Creator is a consuming fire, and He makes His prophets. And He makes His prophets a flame of fire. You see, so he's a consuming fire, and then He makes His prophets a flame of fire. So we tapped into that same source, huh?
And then you're dealing with fire, and then you're dealing with flame. You're just dealing with something that's made in the likeness thereof.
Come on. Come on. That's it.
So we're looking at the science of the flame and the fire, because we know fire is for purification. So if you want to purify yourself outside of food, you're going to the breath. So the key with the breath is that you can change your nervous system to function two different ways. You can turn on the fire aspect, and you can turn on the water aspect. The fire aspect, they call that the sympathetic nervous system, is when your inhalation is longer than your exhalation.
Okay.
Those kind of fires, you want your inhale to be longer than the exhale. And that's good for like athletes, and when you got to get that blood pressure up and you got to make quick decisions and you got to just like quick think on your feet. But when you're relaxing, that's not the water. You don't want the fire. You want the water energy. The water is
okay. When you're what? Say that again. When you're doing what?
When you're doing like an activity, or you're trying to purify.
Okay, you want to study or something like that. You kind of want to meditate. You want to use water.
The water technique, it gets you to relax, opens up the vessels, the blood flow, more energy is moving into the organs, to the brain, right? The blood vessels are more full. Think of like a river that's high tide, full. That's what that sympathetic brings in when you exhale and you inhale.
Right.
And then the reverse happens when your inhale is longer than the exhale. The reverse happens, meaning if you have a situation where you have to be super active, super quick on your feet, you got to just burn through something. You got to like summon a lot of courage to do something, some kind of undertaking, right? Then you want to bring that fire breath to the long inhales, shorter exhales, right? And that's the way you flip the switch on your nervous system. So you have to figure out if you want to deal with some more healing. Maybe some of y'all have some trouble sleeping. You may want to make your exhalation extend longer than your inhalation, or put you in a state of mind that will calm the body down. And when the body's calm, the pH turns to more alkaline, right? To an acid state. And sometimes you need acid.
Yeah, definitely. I mix my diet up. I don't, I mix. Some people tell me a lot is, hey, that food you're eating right there, that's acid. But I eat so much I'm so alkalized from the earth that I like acid foods. You know what I mean? They still grow like they'll tell me the sweet potato. You see what I mean? Sweet potato and corn supposed to be more acidic. But when I mix it with my alkaline diet, it's perfect. You see what I mean? It's perfect. It's organic corn. I'm growing in my own yard. Organic sweet potatoes. I don't care if they're black, red, or orange. There's just ways to stay healthy. You see what I mean? The body is from the earth. They're all organic. It might not be the ones grown in Africa, but there's the one that's grown here. You see what I'm saying? Different countries got different potatoes grown in different places. So I'm traveling all over the earth, and I'll take the red potato, sweet potato, the black one, the red one, and I kind of need them all. They tell me, watch out, that's acidic and that. But no, you need the balance. You know what I mean? My body need that. And sweet potato pies with cinnamon. I mix ginger root, cinnamon, coconut oil, and plantains and sweet potatoes. Your body loves all of that stuff. It might not be perfectly for other people. Hey, that's got acidity. You can't do that. But I like my body to be balanced.
Yes.
You don't want to be all alkali lidity. That's too much fire. You know what I mean? I don't. You get to once your body your blood count get to be about 8, 9. Come on, you don't want it that high, do you?
No, you don't want your pH that high. So like, that's the thing, because you can be too alkaline, and that would take too.
So, you know what I mean? I had to. My wife put me onto that because she's like, man, what are you talking about? She love that corn on the cob.
Yeah, but the key is for the natural things. So you don't want to put like
natural
margarine, which is super acidic.
That's
just have the corn.
No.
And then like
that's
scientifically wrap alkaline food, so you have the balance. The body will decide what it needs to do. The body will decide. So like, say something like garlic. I've noticed a lot of people hate on garlic, but garlic does have proven effects. When the Black Plague came to Europe, when they had their pandemic, and it took 1/3 of their population off the face of this planet. That's what the Black Plague was, and it didn't happen too long ago. And it came because of their filth, and their living habits and living their lifestyle. Their filthiness is what brought on
water and what else you said?
Coconut water.
Crowding.
Going in and out a little bit.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it picked up a little better there.
Let me move about. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
All right. So I'll just make a long story short, but the garlic farmers were not affected by the Black Plague, right?
Come on.
So
my grandma,
there's a science. Sometimes you gotta fight.
117.
Acid with.
My grandma, she lived to be 100, but I asked her, my granddad lived to be 117, and she talked about the garlic. I was telling her about a natural antibiotic, to kill infection. And I told her about the cayenne pepper, garlic, ginger root, and turmeric root, to blend those four together and either in vinegar or olive oil, and let them sit in the glass, and it'll activate into an antibacterial, something like penicillin type, cleaning the
Mm,
body. And she was like, yeah, I had garlic planted all around my house all the time. She always talked about the
mm.
garlic.
Wow.
Garlic is her thing. She loved garlic, ginger root, the red onions, and turnips, greens. That's her mix.
So
With
let me
that big ball on the bottom of the turnip. That's what her. She sure listen. Hey, eat them things like they apples or something.
let me show what she's
But
doing. So those foods can be
mhm.
categorized: garlic, onions, hot peppers, things like that, ginger. All those are under the arena of Mars, the planet Mars. Right? In the
And
old
turmeric.
days,
And turnip greens.
turnip greens. I'm not sure what turnip would fit under the astrology, but I know those other three are
Mhm.
underneath, right? So it used
Mars.
to be
Okay, wow.
meaning that the planet Mars carries the same energy as those foods. And Mars is known as the planet
Mm.
of what? Fire.
Woo. Oh,
You
I'm
see,
about to say Jupiter is water.
it's like an air planet. It's expansive.
Okay.
It's
Mars.
expansive.
Mars is just known
Fire.
as that fire planet. Okay.
That's
Oh,
what. That's
okay. So,
you
and
see
you
it.
know what? Dang, you just said it right. That makes sense. You see what I mean? That makes sense because that's what I call that mix. I call that mix the fire mix. You see what I mean? Like if you burning, we call that the fire burn mix because it's 20 times more potent than penicillin. See?
Oh,
And now you come with the mathematical connection to Mars, the fire planet, fire food, fire energy. And they already knew that. You see
that's
how they
it.
body?
That's how you
Man, bring it out, bro.
body a pandemic with those kind of energies.
Mhm.
Body code.
Mm.
You understand? So that's what you gotta
Wow.
bring that kind of energy out, but you supercharge it with your prayers to protect you and your household. That's what you mothers
Man.
be doing. Not just for
Amen.
yourself, entire household, and make them. Brother's grandmother made him do that, and look how he's doing. He's still here
Amen.
shining.
Right.
So we have the ability to do this for our families and our lineage. That's why Mars is the fire planet. Why do you think they call it martial arts? It's the Mars, it's the fire that's what
Right.
we're dealing with.
Breathing, and
You
fire.
know?
Yeah.
So that's part of the Asian movement. Those kind of foods you just mentioned, onions, um, leeks, garlic, ginger, hot pepper,
hmm
cayenne pepper, scotch, those things
That's it.
together, if you can start, that thing is going to bring firepower. And I would suggest you do it on hot days. And the hottest days of the week, of the 7 days of
Yeah.
the week, are Sunday, the day of the sun, and Tuesday, which in Spanish is called Martes, where they get the word Mars from. So that would be the 2 days of the week, 2 of the 7 days that you'll take these
Mhm.
fire cleanse with the holy fire, the original frequency fire inside of you. Use that to cleanse your body. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. See? Holy
Yeah.
Ghost fire. Holy Spirit fire. The Ruach HaKadosh. Check it out. You broke my head in half here. You said babies before the age of 2, they can go back and forth, to that astral plane, and I mean the pineal gland is wide open, so
Yes.
they can go back and forth, and the Bible said that I saw the sons and of man. Jacob had a dream that he had a ladder from earth to heaven, and he saw the sons going up that ladder back and forth to the moon to earth,
Yeah.
to the heavens to earth, back and forth. So he saw the children. Some people I heard call it the indigo children. Before my boy just died or whatever happened with him, Dick Gregory, he talked a lot about the water in Alabama. He talked about that water. I'm from that water. I got that water in my family's backyard. I can take anybody there. I know we're over 150 springs of pure water, the best water I ever tasted in the world. I've been all over the place. Ain't nothing like that water in Alabama yet. I'm on these Rocky Mountains. They're twice the size of Alabama, but that water don't taste like Alabama, buddy. Huh? It's Colorado Rocky Mountain water that come out. It's real good. It's real nice. It's real fresh. Huh? It's from the sanctuary. It ain't like Alabama water. Ain't nothing like Alabama. I mean, the peanuts come out the ground sweet. Potatoes out the ground sweet. Sweet greens, sweet corn, sweet water. You can just drink the water from Alabama. There might be some other spots out here too, because I'm just now here. But did Gregory talked about that water that come out that ground in Alabama? That water is just so pure. And he talked about the indigo children, and he said that the indigo children don't even have to eat; they can just drink liquids, basically their mother's breast milk, and just drink water. And he said that he was saying, I don't know if he said up to the age of 5 or 4 or something, but up to about 5, 6 till kindergarten. He said until they go take those kindergarten vaccinations, pelvo, PV, HPV, and all of that dumb stuff. He said they're able to go back and forth to the moon, like you just said. You see what I'm saying? And do all these different types of things. You see what I mean? And I said, why is the government attacking these kids so much? You see what I mean? And then my son told me, I love them. He said, Dad, I can't even watch cartoons no more. Why? Too animated. I can't sleep. They stick in your brain. They do that. So, wow. Stupid government is doing something with the kids through cartoons and animating their brain, making them go to sleep with dreams of stuff they don't want. So, did Gregory, yes.
So let me hit that point with what the late great Dick Gregory was talking about. I didn't hear that episode, but what I can speak to is this: that
you're saying something about the indigo children. You ever heard of it? The indigo. Yeah. I guess that's just a code word for the new kids.
There's a new term, like even that's a little bit old now. There's a new term for the children, but it's just kind of like these special beings that come in at specific times, and they're kind of more advanced in their soul, right? But that's been us since the beginning. That's been us since the beginning. But what that Bible passage you were referring to, when he saw the ladder and going back to and fro, that's when he himself reawoke himself to that level of that child. Remember, we had to go and come like children again, right? So we have to now, if that's how we come in through the physical plane, we have to replicate that on the spiritual plane. So that's when you reopen this third eye, then you regain that ability you came into this earth with. And that's what he was trying to communicate through that vision, right? That's what we're trying to do. Because when we do that, then we do have free passage, free passport between heaven and earth. That's our domain. That's our dominion upon this earth. We have dominion to command this earth. And that's part of the work. The other thing I wanted to mention about what you were saying is the distractions that is forced upon the youth. But who forces it upon the youth? We do. Because those video games they have, those gadgets, handhelds, that you can't rip their eyes away from, who gave them that? It wasn't no government. It was you, people. It was you who gave them those gadgets. And then you want to complain about their behavior and how they can't you attached them. You gave them the dope. And now you're complaining about them being doped up. And what is the dope? So those games and all those things that they're watching, it's spiking the adrenaline. And they're getting addicted to the adrenaline rush in those games, those killing games and those racing games and those sports games. And when they get so pumped up and mad, they slam the controllers, they're yelling, cussing, want to fight. It's adrenaline that's surging through their young bodies, and they don't quite understand that. And so when you take away the games, you've taken away their fix, their high, they're a junkie, right? And that's how they're easily distracted. So you gave them that, so we have to understand that Rooster's feeling everything I'm saying. We have to understand that.
Hey, tell that Rooster, get it in, boy. You bringing that knowledge. Get it in, boy. He bringing facts. It's like that donkey. That donkey in the Bible trying to yell. Tell that dude, you don't see the angel. He got a rooster going ham. He's
Yo. That's what it is. That's what it is. Just me and him co-starring.
Co-starring. I ain't let him get some. Let him get some of it, man. Somebody might need to hear that quack and wake him up or something. Yeah, he know what he's doing. He know what he's doing.
It only rises. It only rises up when the sun. Yeah,
they only rise. So, yeah, they only rise up when that sun. Woo, yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it.
That's it, but bro, I gotta get rolling. Is there any questions from the chat? If not, I gotta peel.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's take a look.
So I don't know. I think there's a little disconnect from the brother, but if there's any questions,
okay, let me take a look now, see if we got any
okay. Yeah, we didn't really
people just chiming in. Hey, I got any questions? If you got any questions, ask right now.
Yeah.
Okay, Sister Tracy Love Lake said that coconut water helped her with kidney stones.
That's what's up. Well done, Tracy. Well done. It's those electrolytes. Yeah. There's electrolytes in the coconut water, and probably your dedication to healing and your trust in the healing process. It's really not really so much the agents we use. It's the healing starts within us, right? And so if you can generate a very powerful healing force, you can persuade those, whether it's herbs or foods or acupuncture needles or just exercise, you can persuade those forces to help you to heal. But really, you healed yourself, and coconut water just came along for the ride.
I like that. That's it right there, y'all. That's it right there. Yep. You know what? The last thing I want to say right here, I've been noticing, because the more you be obedient, the more you actually do this stuff, you're getting in tune with doing the same things. So you do the same thing, and you learning different stuff. I was fasting. No, I was now, you know what I'm saying? I'm on a mile high city, so I'm on top of a mountain. So I'm 15,000, I'm 3 miles above sea level. I'm
wow.
Come on, high as you can be. You can't get no higher than this. I'm walking where the prophets walked, Moses. And when you get on top of these mountains, just walking up the mountain. See, David said that the Most High has made my feet like hinds feet. Just walking up that mountain, the way it makes your toes have to reach and go up, and the oxygen, huh? Come on, man. That boy in the Bible said the Most High has made my feet like hinds feet. And you already know the records I got in school from hopping. Just walking up this hill. Just walking up the hill.
Yeah.
When I got to that top, I just took off. I just took off running. I didn't know. It was so much pure air was in my body, and I was drinking my drink, and I had so much oxygen, and then this word free. The Bible said, where the spirit of the Ruach is, there's liberty. I got up there, and I was I felt the spirits, I felt the liberty. It just made me take off. I had so much gasoline in me, pure foods, I just ran. And about 2 miles and around the thing and back. And I was just, I wasn't tired of nothing. It was just, I had to give reference to some energy there. Just like a bird just flies, for no reason over to another city or somewhere else. I just had to fly real quick. And then, and I'm like, what? I said, what in the world's controlling me? And I just didn't know what was controlling me. And I said, let me ask him, because when I was up on top of that mountain, I'm 3 miles above the ground, pure oxygen. I feel like I'm eating this stuff. I can feel everything. My wife like, what's going in? What's got into you? I can hear something in you. Like she can hear a change. Like the spirits, the higher you go up on that earth, it's like the more they say the Holy Spirit means breath. The Ruach in Hebrew means breath. So the higher you go up on a mountain, you're getting pure breath. Pure air, pure Ruach. So the Bible said they're gonna run and don't even be weary. I felt that. I ran up there and wasn't even weary. So when I started to meditate, it started to hit me. I said, "This is why all the masters come up here, because they're starting to get help from the elements. They're getting help from the Ruach. There's more Ruach up here." And when I got up there and I started meditating, breathing, I don't care about these fake dumb people. They one dude inboxed me and said, "You might be a satanic person. You use the word meditate. We in spirit and truth. We don't meditate. What are you talking about? I can't go have peace."
Man. Yeah, man.
Apologize, man. You know me, man. At fire, I speak the truth. I'm one of the guys.
A lot of phlegm. They got a lot of mucus in their heads.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they killed.
Address. I'll send them some burdock and dandelion root.
We got to give them. We got to give them something. These people, what it is, they love to battle and love to be contrary. Come on, man. It's a holy body here. I'm taking it to a holy place to be purified. When I get there, I close my eyes and I think about the goodness. Okay, is that okay with you people? Gosh, I can't. I'm not gonna spend no time on them. But I was up there, right? This is what I meant to say. I found out that every single one of your chakras, or what's the right word so people don't get scary? Oh, he said chakra. Oh, he said gland. Oh, he said it's in your body. What name do you want me to use? Okay, so I'm in there breathing. And I could, so if a person has a sexual disorder, disease in his gland, one of the 7 glands, chakras, wherever you want to call it, if the sexual organ gets clogged up, they call that what? Prostate gland cancer. See, if mucus get into the other gland coming up the 7 chakras, the stomach, you're gonna have what? Stomach mucus, which is stomach. See, it's only one germ, it's mucus. So if you have sex to dirty people and get mucus in that sexual gland, problem there. Stomach gland, problem there. Heart chakra, problem there. Heart, throat gland, problem there. You see, so
eyes, glaucoma.
You see what I'm saying? Come on.
Blood in the pancreas, diabetes, right?
See what I'm saying?
In the lung, pneumonia, it's all the same one condition.
All the same condition.
Where it appears in the body. Yeah, that's all.
And this is what I noticed when I was up there doing that fast, and everything was enhanced. I was higher, more pure air, more pure sunlight. I'm the first one getting the sunlight. It's not hitting nothing else. I'm in the highest place in America. So I'm the only one getting these sun rays. I'm the only one getting them star rays. I'm the only one getting the moon rays. I'm the only one getting that oxygen. I'm the first one getting that rain. I'm the only one able to eat this flower untouched. So I'm getting stuff up there that's untouchable. You see what I'm saying? Right. So I was able to meditate on an untouchable level. I was in tune with every single chakra. So when I found out that, see, I don't care about, I love basketball, I love football, I love all these different sports. Boxing is what I teach and is what I do. But ain't nothing more powerful than sitting your butt still and breathing and telling yourself that you're playing 5 million games of basketball through a breath, and tell that energy to remove. See, when I did that, I felt my body start to teach me. See, because I blinded out my gates. I closed my ears. I closed my eyes. I closed my breathing, and I breathe from the inside. So I started to notice that there's an inside piano that you have to play. There's the inside piano that you have to play, because the eyes were closed. So now my ears are closed from the outside. So I can't hear no outside noise, but I can hear the inside. See? Right. So now I remember certain, like if a person got something caught in their throat, we all know the sound to make to get it out your throat. See? That's for the throat. See? We know that for the throat. See? Now the body was teaching me different sounds to attack different glands. So I had something come on now. See? I had something in my lung, and I noticed that the spirit, and I was listening to the inside of my body, and I can't do it now, but it was something in my lung. I don't, maybe just going up to that high of 3 miles in the sky, that pure oxygen found it. Being low, it didn't find it. When I went up high, pure oxygen, found it. And it made me speak a note I never spoke. So I was like, I was a weird sound, and it went and got it right out of there. And then when it got that out of there, it brought memories to my mind of the different sounds that you can play. And I heard some people when they meditate, they say, I heard about they just start, I was like, okay, I don't need but I needed other ones, you know, just to make a long story short, that, you know, I didn't, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm saying, but I know spiritually it did the
highlight
you know
of
what I'm saying?
the highlight
Man,
of the show. You with your own musical production for healing sounds.
wow. Amen.
And you discovered it on your own through your own meditation. Something was revealed especially for you, and you heard that, and you found a way to use that, and it helped you to heal yourself, right? And that's the science we talk about, helping people. We all have, like I said, we all have talents God given. God gave you some ears to hear, and you heard and you obeyed, and the result was your healing. And we all have that ability too, but we just have to step out of our comfort zones, stop relying on CVS and Rite Aid and all this. Because when the trucks stop coming to those places, what you gonna do? Who are you gonna turn to? You don't know. You don't even know the plants that can heal you in your own locality. You're in your neighborhood. How long you lived in your house? You don't even know one healing herb in your yard. And I guarantee they're growing up in your yard. You're calling them weeds. Look up what those weeds do in different traditional medicine aspects, and I guarantee you're going to find something in your house or nearby your house or in your neighborhood. It's going to have some specific medicine to help you to heal. And that's what me and the brother are really just trying to convey to y'all today. And to get that message very clear, why don't you start with purification? So you get rid of the filth, get rid of the doubts, get rid of the negative self-imagery, get rid of the negative self-talk, purify the whole thing, from the foods to the breath to everything. So you're back in touch with the original frequency, and then you get in touch with what you need to do better for yourself and your family, your people, your nation, and help us all elevate and rise higher. Brother man, I got a GO.
Okay, man, that was wonderful right there, man. You know what I mean? I just try to be like a radio station, hit the people with different type of truth. You know what I mean? Stuff that nobody else gonna tell them, stuff that really works. You know, this was wonderful, man. Anytime, bro. Anytime.
That musical medicine up into the mountain today. I will be looking for my own healing sounds today. So I appreciate that, Brody. You're on the mute.
Well, you know, I learned that from you because, you know, while you listening to the inside of your body, I was trying to flow with it and tell it what to do and see it go there and all of that, like you say. So when you start to close your eyes and see, you know, just try spiritually, you got to move through your body. The Ruach is breath, and if you got the Holy Ruach in you, then you can become breath. You can become that breath. And you can control it and tell that Holy Ruach to do what it needs to be done. And I just started having confidence in that, doing that, and those are the results, stepping up, you know? So,
That book,
you know.
I want book.
Going in and I don't know why you went in and out a little bit.
Oh yeah. I'm saying that's the book.
But yeah. That's the book. That's the book right there, ain't it?
Drill it.
Yeah, man. That's the book right there. That's a good start. That's a good start. You know what I mean? That's a good introduction. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to get together and really start that book up. You know what I mean? So I might have to be on my way to Hawaii pretty soon.
Come through. We got you. So I'm going to salute the family. Take care of you.
People slum everybody.
Peace.
To the next time. Peace. Shalom, I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Y'all be blessed. Until we meet again. Shalom.